The largest infrastructure project in the history of RPV is officially complete. The San Ramon Canyon Storm Drain Project is ready to go, and the city is inviting the public to a special ribbon-cutting ceremony on October the 15th. RPV Mayor Jerry DeHovic discussed San Ramon with Liz Brown-Swanson.
San Ramon, biggest infrastructure project in our city.
Right.
What's happening there? Is it complete?
It is complete. They are doing some plantings around the inlets now, some trail remediation and updating. We are going to have a grand opening October 15th at 9 a.m. I'm sure that'll be exciting, but it's ready to receive water. The project, as I said a second ago, came in under bid or under the budget. Came in at about 17.4 million, which allowed us to do all the good work on PV Drive East and the switchback area. And actually, there's probably $300,000 or $400,000 yet in unallocated additional monies there. So we'll see if we wind up using that before the matching funds go away. But San Ramon is done. That wound up being an excellent project. I've had discussions with people who are in that space. And commented, and are actually RPV residents that commented that, you know, LH Woods did a great job, and that was a very difficult project, and we kind of downplayed that, but it was
it's amazing.
It really is when you think about it, all the drilling and, you know, upslope and dumping into the ocean. So it was got a lot to be proud of there, and in less than a month we'll be kicking it off, and hopefully it'll give us another 100 years of service, at least.
The community is invited to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony. It takes place on Wednesday, October 15th at 9:15 a.m. Now, there is no parking available at the site, but the city will provide transportation and reservations are required. Please call Public Works at 310-544-5275. The 22nd annual Palos Verdes Concours de Elegance rolled into Trump National Golf Course. Now, this year's theme was automotive innovation, and no doubt the most innovative cars from around the world were showcased. Liz Brown-Swanson joins us from the Concours. Liz?
Hi, Marie. I'm here at Founders Park for the 22nd annual Concours d'Elegance. What a community celebration today. As you can see behind me, a sea of some of the most incredible automobiles from around the world. Every shape, size, and class. This year's mark was the Cord and the Tucker. We're going to find out more about those vehicles, meet the most incredible Grand Marshal that's here today, and so much more.
Here we are at the Concours. We have 23 classes in the Concours. We are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Porsche, 50th anniversary of Mustang, and then in various other classes. I especially looked down and saw the Woody class. Looks very, very impressive. We are a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, and all proceeds go to the Rotary and the Art Center Children's Program. And I want to be very careful in saying these are not children's programs up in the hill. These are children for San Pedro Boys and Girls Club, Wilmington, and in the 22 years we've raised close to $700,000 and kept this thing going. So it's the longest running Concours, certainly in Southern California.
This is fantastic. I mean, the variety of cars here, all the way from a 1914 electric vehicle all the way up to these Ferraris that are current. I especially like the Woodies, because I used to surf when I was back in the 60s, and I even had some buddies that had a Woody, and so that reminded me of going back to that time.
It's an honor to be here with the Concours Grand Marshal. I'm with Don Panos. He's doing a wonderful job out here in showcasing this beautiful car that you've created. Talk about this.
Well, thank you, Liz. This is the Panos Esperante, and this is the 25th year of Panos making cars. And this basic style, the Esperante, won Le Mans and Sebring in 2006, beat the factory Porsches and Ferraris. And this is our 25th edition. There's only 25 of these being made, and they're made to your order. You can pick your engine, anything from 450 to 800 horsepower. Pick the gearbox, whether you want push button or whether you want automatic or manual. You can pick your suspension, and you can pick the colors, you do the interior, and we build the car to your spec.
I have to say, I like the color of this one, Kiss Me Quick.
Kiss Me Quick red. That's what
the fact that you're Grand Marshal, talk about that being an honor for you.
Well, that is a big honor. I mean, my goodness, there's over 220 cars here now. They had a rally yesterday of 90 cars. This is the Elegant Concours. You know, The people have been fantastic. The cars are just magnificent.
This is our 22nd year, as you probably know, the community, and the community has really been behind us. This is a pretty special year. It's the age of innovation, and I'm the class manager of the Tucker 48. There probably isn't any other much more innovative car than this car. If those of you that have seen the film, Preston Tucker, A Man in His Dream, it kind of tells you the story of what's going on, but this is a very special automobile.
I'm really excited to be here. This is a really special event for the community, and especially this year because we have these Tucker automobiles here that are the rarest of the rare and just absolutely beautiful vehicles, works of art.
If you could drive off with one of these babies out here today, is it going to be a Tucker, or are you going to jump ship and go somewhere else?
You know, I still have yet to see the Cords that are here today, and I'm looking forward to that, but I might have to take that black one over there. That black Tucker is pretty sweet.
As we wrap it up here at the 22nd Annual Concours d'Elegance, you heard the city manager say if she could, she wants to drive home with this black Tucker, but I think I'm going to go for the blue Tucker that was owned by Mr. Preston Tucker himself. What a beautiful car, and what an amazing event here. Congratulations to all the volunteers for putting together a wonderful concours. Back to you, Maria, in the studio.
And if you're interested in finding out more about the cars and the winners from this year's Concours, you can check it all out at pvconcours.org. And when we come back, it was cleanup day at the beach that everyone in the community took part in. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Deputy Chris Knox here to remind you of the importance of sharing the road. When it comes to riding a bicycle, it is required for those under 18 to wear a bicycle helmet, and a good idea for the rest of us as well. Bicyclists should stay to the right-hand edge of the roadway if they are moving less than the speed of traffic, unless they are setting up a left turn, passing, or avoiding debris. Also, bicyclists may use the whole lane if they are going the speed of traffic. When drivers are parked on the side of the road, they should always use caution when opening car doors. By following these rules, we can all share the road safely. This message is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department.
The number of rescue operations off our peninsula's coast has been growing. We want to remind all residents to be aware of the dangers in our water and how to prevent a tragedy. Always know your location. Many beach areas tend to look the same. Make sure you have a phone in case of emergencies. Always swim with 2 or more people. Be aware of sharp rocks and riptides. Always adhere to posted signs. When you follow these rules, you take the danger out of your day at the beach.
The Peninsula coastline is cleaner after hundreds of volunteers took part in the worldwide annual Coastal Cleanup Day. Locally at Abalone Cove, the cleanup effort was coordinated by the docents of Los Serenos de Point Vicente and RPV's Recreation and Parks Department. Liz Brown-Swanson joins us with more.
Hi, Maria. I'm here at Abalone Cove, where many volunteers got together all day long here for the annual coastal cleanup. It was a very successful event coordinated by the docents of Los Serenos de Point Vicente and the city. And there's no doubt that when you see the amount of trash coming off the beach today, you know that these volunteers are making a huge difference.
We do this every year. It's an international event, which makes it really important. And it's been a good day. Weather was beautiful. We've had about 250 people so far, and we're doing a tally as we talk about how much trash, but usually we get thousands of pounds of trash, but I'll know better a little later how we're actually going to do. We report that all back to Gila Bay. They sponsor us, you know, so it's a great event.
Yep, what do you got?
I think the shoe is the best find, and a lot of styrofoam, and a diaper.
What brought you out today? Obviously, I know you want to help.
Yeah, it's very satisfying knowing that there's a portion of the beach that has absolutely no trash because of me.
A lot of bottles, like plastic bottles. I don't know, yeah, just a lot of cat bottles.
I got slippers and socks and driftwood. I got a lot of those stuff.
I know you boys live in the community. What do you think about this effort? Why'd you get involved?
Because I think it's good to give back to the community. It's treated us really well, so yeah.
I think it's good to protect our wildlife and our marine life, just so it'd be good.
Were you surprised how much trash was on the beach today?
I was very surprised.
You could tell that it was a successful day. The storms in the last couple months have really helped bring in a lot of trash for this event, but it's volunteers event, events like this that help us keep our AAA rating at our beach and keep our beaches clean. So we're very, very appreciative.
Here at Abalone Cove, as the community is coming together to beautify the area, the city is working on an ongoing effort right now to beautify Abalone Cove. Talk about that project. We can see behind us the vegetation coming in. It's gorgeous.
Right. Yeah, this was a grant-funded project. The city's Public Works Department put it on, in conjunction with the Rec and Parks Department. But we're very excited, and as you can see, it's a beautiful turnout. We're actually going to have a grand opening event with a ton of activities in conjunction with the Land Conservancy. They're also doing a volunteer event. That's October 25th. We'd love everyone to come out. It's going to be a great day, fun-filled day. We're going to have the docents here to help out, and it's just going to be a great day.
Oh, it's a great day. We come every year and support the city and all the volunteers that are here for Coastal Cleanup Day at Abalone Cove Shoreline Park.
And what are you seeing?
We're seeing over 200 people that got out there, worked really hard, picked up all the trash, and can have the rest of the day to feel really good about themselves.
She found a few bottles, and I found like a bunch of wrappers and caps.
So why do you think it's so important to come out today, Anna?
Because if we pick up trash, we're helping the community. So like if animals eat it, they'll get sick or they might die.
Excellent. And do you girls like to come down to this beach and the tide pools?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Every little bit helps, and the kids are so enthusiastic. It's great. Everybody.
As you've been up here seeing all this trash come in, what goes through your mind?
How much more is still buried out there, really? We've had people, volunteers going out and saying after a storm, it just gets all dug up again.
As you can see, all these volunteers are lining up behind me at the weigh-in station, bringing in lots of more trash. This effort was clearly a huge success in cleaning up our coastline, but it's something we can continue to do every day of the year. Back to you, Maria, in the studio.
The PV Library District, the PV Land Conservancy, and Marymount California University have joined together to promote a community-wide reading program called One Book, One Peninsula. Here's more.
Hi, Maria. This is the story right here. The book, The Nature Principle, written by international best-selling author Richard Louv. It was the selected reading for the 6th annual One Book, One Peninsula. The entire community is being encouraged to read this book. Right now, the author is visiting Marymount California University. He's meeting with students and the public to discuss his message, which is the more high-tech we become, the more nature we need.
I'm here to speak about the nature principle. I've written 2 books on this issue about the disconnection of people to nature. One was The Last Child in the Woods, and that's primarily about children. I talked about what I call nature deficit disorder, a phrase that has become popular, and the implications of that disconnection to our health, our psychological health, our physical health. The nature principle is more about you and me. It's about adults more, and it's about kind of a vision of a society in which it asks this question: what would it be like if we had a future in which our lives were as immersed in nature every day, where we live, work, learn, and play, as our lives are now in technology?
How does your research back up? The more high-tech we become, the more nature we need. What are the problems that you see that have happened with society?
Well, I'm not anti-tech. I'm holding an iPad right here, so I'm talking into a microphone, so it's hard to be anti-tech. It's a question of balance. We do know that there's a big downside to too much electronic time. Depression goes up, patterns of interpersonal behavior change, and not for the better most of the time. There's implications for cognitive functioning, our ability to learn, children's ability to learn, for creativity. It's not necessarily true that the more computers kids have, the more creative they are.
It's no secret that the research says that students that are outdoors and students who are involved in nature typically have healthier lifestyles. So it's pretty obvious that this is something we have to reinforce. Our students, we definitely bring them here for their first year. We bring them out all over LA, all over the South Bay. Some of them are very active and intern at places like the Conservancy. So we certainly believe that. The challenge, of course, is in today's day and age, for people of all ages, to put away their cell phone. It's pretty difficult.
He's magnificent. His ideas are so important. I hope everyone buys one of these books. It's fabulous.
How much do you get into nature?
Every day. I have a garden. I love my garden. Couldn't do without it.
I think it was great. Everything he brought up about nature and how we're kind of moved on to like technology, which is a good thing to have. But I think it's great to bring back nature into play, and I can relate it a lot with my sisters. I have a 3-year-old sister and a 7-year-old, and I can see that the 3-year-old loves nature because she still hasn't learned about technology, an iPad or an iPhone or like an iTouch. So she's always playing outside. Versus my 7-year-old, she's like more into being on the iPad, being on Netflix, watching shows, watching YouTube. So there's like a difference between them too.
And what did you think of the message by the author today?
Pretty much what my friend said, like it's very meaningful how people just don't see how nature is important and how it can truly make you happy if you like, if you appreciate it more.
Of course, talking with the students here at Marymount, they couldn't say enough how important it is to try to balance nature with technology. If you want to learn more about this book, you can go to the author's website at richardlouv.com. And of course, everyone's encouraged to pick up a copy, but most of all, to get out into nature. Back to you, Maria, in the studio.
Book lovers had a chance to meet dozens of authors at the 3rd Annual Local Authors Fair. The fair was sponsored by the Palos Verdes Library District. Here's more from Mark J. Dottie.
Today at the Palos Verdes Library District, it's the Local Authors Fair. We got to sneak in a little early and find out what it's all about.
We had a lot of different local authors come to the library and ask if they could give an event here at the library. And if we were to accommodate all of them, we would, but we'd be doing an author event every weekend. And we have a lineup of 4 speakers, and they're going to be talking about the different aspects of publishing. So how to break into nonfiction, how to find an agent, how to turn your book into a screenplay, and then, just the basic nitty-gritty of writing, which is overcoming fear, how to face the blank page. We expect to see 300 community people here at the library today.
So Out of the Transylvania Night was inspired by the book Night by Elie Wiesel. So the book itself has very many different layers. It's a story of survival. It's a story of American dream. It's a story of love, of, cultural readjustment, political suffering. I think each and every one of us somehow is going to find a spot that he can relate to.
The book is about all the wacky stories that are behind the baby boomer holiday trends, like aluminum trees and bubble lights, the green bean casserole, all the toys like Barbie and Mattel. And what inspired it was finding out, because I'm a history geek, and I kept running across these incredible stories that were absolutely true about what was behind all these great inventions or innovations or fads of the boomer era.
What is inspired is like the life of a woman, life of a human, and then why do we have like some kind of a history, and then why we just have to pass that history without the injustice and all that kind of stuff. That I wanted to bring out in art form, and then let people know this was exist, and then we wanted to recognize the events, history.
Well, Structure for Success is a business book. It's a how-to book for business owners so they can take their business from being small and get it to grow larger, to make it scalable. And a lot of times business owners, they start off small and they become popular, they want to grow, and they don't know how to, or they may be spending way too many hours in their business. And so how can they get, days off, like weekends or vacations? So this book looks at the business owner's operations, the productivity and efficiency, and helps them to see simple strategies that they can make those improvements in their business.
And remember to keep up with all the events at the Library District. You can go to pvld.org. For Peninsula Beat, this is Mark J. Dottie.
And it's that time of year when you might be looking for the perfect Halloween costume, and we have just the place for you.
Is that Halloween costume in your closet that you're never going to use again, making you feel crabby? Well, I've got the solution for you.
Vintage clothing is huge here. People come from all over Southern California to rent for stage plays and television, and then their personal church plays or theme parties. So we do use vintage clothing a lot, but we also like used costumes. We prefer the higher quality ones, but we'll take just about anything and try to make use of it. we'll recycle by way of our rack that's outside when we can't make use of something and hope for a donation.
So if we're after Halloween, we've had a lot of fun, we bought this expensive costume, but we're not going to use it again. We take it to the costume closet?
We'd love to have it. We'd like to have other people have the opportunity of using things that otherwise would probably just sit in somebody's closet. Yeah.
The money that's raised here at the costume closet, where does it go?
The money goes back directly to our PTAs within the Palos Verdes Peninsula Unified School District.
And how do you decide how much money goes to what PTA, what school?
The funds are divided amongst the schools based, it's basically allocated back to the schools based on the number of hours they have volunteers here. We're completely a volunteer organization, so the number of hours that each person comes down here and works, they designate which school they are going to donate their hours towards, and that money goes to them.
So are you always looking for volunteers? How do you
We
get
are
volunteers?
always looking for volunteers, and not only do we have volunteers from the schools, we have a lot of teen organizations. So we have quite a few teenagers that come down here. In fact, this summer we had about 45 teenagers donate over 600 hours of service to completely go through our inventory and make sure it was all clean, that we had everything that we needed, and that it was in the right place.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. It's before Halloween, and I'm looking for a good costume. Is this the place to go?
Absolutely. We have a costume selection of over 7,000 costumes already put together. We have thousands of pieces of wigs, hats, shoes, purses, jewelry, you name it. We have it here.
If I want it for Halloween, I should be here a week before, or can I come make arrangements a month or a month and a half before?
We have a month prior for Halloween, and then during the year it's a week prior for other things.
What about like cleaning, you know, so how does that work?
Cleaning is a long process for some of our costumes. Some of our costumes we have to send out to dry cleaners, and then we have a group of women that clean all of our items, iron them, and get them ready and put back out on the hangers.
What are the hours for the costume closet?
Regular hours are Tuesdays from 1 to 5, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 to 5, and then Saturday from 11 to 3.
Great, and is there a phone number or website they can go to?
310-378-5005 would be our phone number, and then Costume Closet pops up right when you look it up on the web.
So if you want to save a little green on this Halloween and find yourself a cool looking costume, come on down to the Costume Closet.
And finally, our own John Clayton caught up with some little fish at the Palos Verdes Interpretive Center. Here's more.
Well, here we are down at the Point Vincenti Interpretive Center to learn about fishtails. Seems a little fishy to me.
Little Fish Tales by the Sea is a new program by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes and the Library District. It's designed to be enjoyed with your parent, with you, and we have stories and songs, finger plays, and a craft.
And finally, if people watching need more information, is there a website or a phone number they can contact you at?
Definitely. You can call the Point Vicente Interpretive Center at 310-377-5370. You can also look for the flyer on the city website as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
And what did you bring Jessica here for?
We love doing the crafts and the readings. We come every week. We have all the different activities they do at the Palos Verdes Peninsula, so she enjoys it.
What do you think some of the things are that she's learning?
She's learning how to cut, how to do coloring, how to sit still, because she doesn't go to school yet.
How to sit still?
Yeah, trying to sit still for story time is a big one, so.
Ever since I started bringing him to these programs, I made a little library for him in his room, and he seems to interact more with books. He loves books now.
So this is really an extension of his library.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And the social life too.
Yeah.
I brought her so she would have some kids to do things with, and because this is a place that we come often to visit because we like it.
And what do you think some of the things are that she's learning here?
She's learning finger skills. She's listening. She did listen to the stories. And she's just learning to get along with other kids.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Are you having a good time?
Interact with his peers and to have fun with crafts and to listen well to the story.
It's always interesting to see what kids draw. That's an interesting picture there.
Yes, he's drawing the water over the fish, yeah. so.
Okay, Maria, from Kids Central and all the fun times here, I look forward to seeing you next time. So until then, this is John Clayton. Back to you.
I wonder what kind of Halloween costume our own John Clayton will be getting at the costume closet. I guess you'll just have to wait and find out. That will do it for us. From everyone here at RPV TV, make it a great day.